Hi. Now, I'm not sure how well I'm going to do at keeping up a daily video blogs over the Christmas period, especially since I am also working. So I will have to apologize in advance if I can't keep them coming daily. If I can't, then I'll try and do a written one at least, like I did yesterday. But it's a slightly crazy time of year, as you can probably appreciate. Now, I decided today that I would talk about the year in summary. Now, the year of 2020 has been slightly crap anyway. But if you add an extra level of lose a leg to that, and it all becomes even more crap. So the way that the year ran for me was like this. So it started with my very first DNF, did not finish, and DNS, did not start, when I had to pull out of Challenge Wanaka in February because of the foot injury, at that point not yet identified as being vascular. So I ended up being a swimmer for a team. So that was the first time I'd ever not been able to start a race that I'd entered. It's not my best way of starting 2020. Shortly after that, we had the lockdown for COVID in New Zealand, which put an extra level of pressure on me as a business owner because we were not able to trade, but still had all our bills to pay, and I still had obligations towards all the staff that I had. Thank you to the New Zealand government for how they handled that. It enabled us to stay open and survive that little period. And luckily for New Zealand, that we only had a 7-week lockdown, which meant that small businesses had a lot more chance of surviving out the other end than in a lot of other countries. But then shortly after that, I ended up with hospitalisation number 2, because it was during that whole lockdown period that they actually identified what was actually wrong. And some of the surgery appointments and some of the consultant appointments were actually delayed by COVID, which added to my whole exacerbated problem of the fact that people hadn't got the diagnosis right in the first place. And I eventually ended up in the vascular lab and they told me that I had a blocked femoral artery. Now, the short story after that started in May, and I was in and out of hospital 7 times between May and September. Yeah, for so many medical appointments. I was struggling to keep a lid on all of the stress it was causing me. And I have to thank the staff I have here at Riding to Health for running the business for me during all that time, because I truly don't think there would have been a Riding to Health without them. Because I couldn't work for 7 months. 7 surgeries and 7 months off work. That's the longest I have ever not worked ever in my life. How that ended up, in October I lost a leg. Now, if you'd asked me at the start of the year that how I thought it would turn out, the end of the year would never have been to finish without a leg. There was not anywhere in my horizon at all. So that was a massive shock. Although I have dealt with it with the best acceptance I could, and I have been proactive and honest about the whole journey, but it has been really, really tough, physically, mentally, and emotionally, and it has drained me completely. I have found the return to work equally challenging, and yesterday I had 3 appointments with some rest gaps in between, but clearly not long enough. By the end of that, I was stuffed. And I used to be able to do 7 appointments all back to back in one day. There is no way that I could do that right now. I've got a long road ahead to get back to full-time work. And sometimes when I look at the mountain ahead of me, it seems insurmountable. But I need to look at the positives that there has been throughout all of this. Because yes, there has been some positives, even though the year seems horrendous, because I had my first DNF, my first DNS, 7 surgeries, 7 months of work. I lost a leg, I lost a lifestyle I used to have, and I also struggled majorly with mental and emotional health as a result of all of that. Now, that has taken a big toll, but I'm starting to tick off those little goals that head me into the future. Now, the first one was being able to stand up on the prosthetic leg. Now, I remember in October when they planned the surgery for the 8th of October that I was not even sure I'd have a leg for Christmas. We thought it would be January. So when I got my first leg at the end of November, although I fell over and couldn't wear it to the middle of December, I was absolutely stoked that I didn't even get a leg for Christmas. I got a leg way before Christmas. And that was just amazing. And it was like a bit of a gift to me for the fact that taking a leg that I'd get one back again before the end of the year. But then I've had to learn how to walk, and I'm still learning how to walk. Now, you underestimate what that is like when you're walking. It's just something you've just taken for granted, and I'm having to learn it all over again with different biomechanics, left leg and right leg. It's just really, really challenging, and I can't even describe how challenging unless you wouldn't even know unless you were an amputee yourself. I've had to wrap my head around all the psychological impacts that has had, and I'm still working my way through those, and the self-image and all that sort of thing, because, well, you don't just chop a leg off and just like trot on and accept it. It's just isn't what you do. But the things that are starting to be more positive for me now, I can now walk further than I could already. I can already 10 weeks after surgery. Yeah, I think it's 10 weeks after surgery. I will just check. I can now walk further with this prosthetic and the crutches still than I could before they took my leg off. So let me see. October the 8th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whoa, we're on 11 weeks. So 11 weeks, I can walk further with this prosthetic than I could with my actual foot. I can also walk with one crutch, and I couldn't when I had my actual foot. I'm back to swimming, and in the couple of weeks that I have been swimming, I have done 18,000 meters. And I've managed to elevate myself to 3rd place in the Cupcake Cartel Swimming Challenge. I'm not going to catch 2nd and 1st. I just don't have enough days left, and I started too late. But I'm pretty impressed with myself that I managed to get that far. I've also done my longest swim in a very long time, 3,000 meters the other day, and yesterday I went swimming and had a little mini self-challenge with the person in the next lane to see if I could swim faster than them, and got my pace back to the pace that I was doing for Challenge Wanaka Swim in February whilst I still had 2 feet. So I'm back where I was there, but with only 1 foot, so that makes me happy. I've also managed to fix my buoyancy in the water, so my foot is back on the surface level, and that's been hard to do because I've had to engage the core a lot more to be able to rectify that because I've lost the buoyancy of one of the legs. But there's so many things that I can say that are positive that I've managed to achieve already just in those 11 weeks. So I finished 2021, I finished 2020 knowing that I threw everything I could at the rehab after I lost my leg. There is nothing I regret. There is nothing I could have done differently. And I have smashed every goal I was given by all of the medical staff about how well I would recover. What do I plan for 2021? Well, I'm hoping to be able to ride my bike again before the end of 2021. I will be walking without crutches for the first time in a number of years in 2021. And a tentative goal, I'm not sure if this is realistic or not, I won't know till I see how we go with the funding and whether I can get funded for a bike leg or not. But if I can get back cycling, I'm hoping to be able to take part in my first multi-sport event since 2012 actually, because I didn't finish either of the 2 that I tried after the knee replacement because of the left foot. So if I can get another multi-sport finish in 2021, not only will it be my first multi-sport finish line in 9 years, but it will also be my first as a para-athlete. So that is what my goals are for 2021, and I think so far in 2020 there is nothing that I could be ashamed of because I'm pretty proud of how well I've done where I'm at up till now. So that is my 2020 wrap, and I will talk to you all soon. I'm not sure how frequent my vlogs will be, but I will get back to daily definitely after the other side of Christmas if I haven't managed it up till then. So thank you for your support and your continuing support. Every single like, love, comment and everything means the world to me. and every tiny little thing I can do to change the world and hope to prevent, raise awareness, disability awareness, vascular awareness, and prevent this from happening to anyone else, that is another plus. Oh, and I just thought another thing. I got the HDC complaint in before the end of this year, and I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that our case is strong enough for the Commissioner to actually investigate it. But that's not guaranteed. So let's hope that that does get done too, but I've put it in and there's nothing more I can do. So that's a wrap for 2020. Have a lovely Christmas and I will see you all soon.